All right, a very good evening to you. Many thanks for joining us tonight on the broadcast. You're just in time for KUTV Primetime News. But before we get into informing you what is shaping your world of news, let's get an introduction.
This is KUTV Primetime News with Anyango, Sylvia.
That's right. On the sign language interpretation tonight is Naomi Ombui. Remember, this broadcast is also coming to you live on YouTube at KUTV News Kenya, and you can also interact with us on X at KUTV_Kenya or at Anyango Sylvia KE. We begin. Now, the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission, IEBC chairperson Edwin Ethukon, has issued a detailed update on the recently concluded by-elections, outlining the key challenges encountered during the process. Ethukon commended security agencies for maintaining vigilance, even as isolated incidents of violence were reported in areas such as Mbeere North. He firmly defended the Commission's neutrality, dismissing claims that certain candidates received preferential treatment. According to Ethukon, all IEBC decisions are properly documented and open for scrutiny. The chairperson urged citizens to report electoral misconduct directly to the Commission rather than allowing tensions to escalate into violence on polling day. Now, on to a sad news tonight. A sorrowful atmosphere has engulfed Mitengero village in Nyansancha sublocation in Nyaribari Chache constituency after the horrific defilement and murder of a 13-year-old Purity Atisia, a grade 9 pupil at Ekerubo Comprehensive School. Our reporter Glory Kathure now brings us more details on the tragic incident.
Of December 2025, when a 13-year-old girl Purity Atisia went missing. She had excused herself to fetch water while grazing cows with her sister at 3 p.m. but failed to return home that evening.
Hii kisa yenye ilifanyika hapa Nyansancha Mitengero, ni mtoto wangu ndiye alikuja akafanyia kitendo na sasa amekufa yuko sasa. Sasa hiyo siku yenye alienda walienda na sister yake kwenda huko. Sasa walikuwa wanalisha ng'ombe tu huko barabarani tu.
Hours later, local authorities were notified and secured the scene after the victim's father, Nelson Atisia, appealed for assistance from relevant authorities to speed up the investigation and bring the culprits into book. Purity's grandmother, Scholastica Atisia, said that the incident was shocking as they now fear sending their daughters out of the compound to fetch water.
Huyu mtoto sasa ilikuwa kitu kama saa 9 hivi, saa 10 huyu mtoto alipotea kutoka hapo. Sasa tukamkuta tu jioni hivi, alikuwa ameaga tayari, amekufa. Sasa kutoka hapo naambia sasa serikali mfuatilie hiyo tujue ni huyu mtoto wangu alikufa namna gani.
The area acting chief Joseph Mandi said that the investigation officers have already taken over the matter. He urged people with any information to volunteer it for a speedy investigation and assured members to be calm as they await the outcome.
Kesi iko kwa uchunguzi sababu maaskari walichukua hiyo kesi. Kwa hivyo tunangoja watuletee majibu. Wakati huu msimu watoto wako nje, msimu huu wakati wa likizo, nilikuwa naomba wazazi waajibike, wajaribu kuangalia watoto wao, waweke tu karibu na wao ama karibu kwa boma.
An aunt to the deceased, Jane Abraham, insisted that the suspects are within the village and urged residents to cooperate with investigators. Community leaders, including Onsare Oigo and Andrew Ochomba, also appealed to security agencies to help secure justice for the bereaved family.
Kwa hivyo wameongeleshwa vizuri, wameambiwa waweze kuendelea kufanya investigation pole, waweze kuleta wahalifu, wajulikane kwa sababu ni watu wa hapa karibu. Maana tendo hili bwana chief ameongelea likifunikiwa litaendelea tena kesho ni kwa nyumba ingine tena kwa mwingine, kwa sababu hili likifunikiwa itaendelea kuenea, na hiyo sasa ndio uhalifu wa watoto wadogo kuanza kufanyiwa kitendo cha unyama wa raping. Hata wamama wataogopa kwenda soko kwa sababu wakiwa wanatoka soko.
The body was taken to Kisii Teaching and Referral Hospital where it awaits a postmortem examination. The outcome is expected to shed light on the cause of death and guide the ongoing investigation. Reporting for KUTV, I am Glory Kadhure.
All right, thank you, Glory. Now, Geoffrey Ruku, the Cabinet Secretary for Public Service, Human Capital Development and Special Programs, has criticized former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua, accusing him of misleading the public by claiming to command the Mount Kenya voting bloc. This comes in the wake of the just concluded by-elections, where UDA's strong performance in the region appeared to undercut Gachagua's influence. Take a look.
The politics of the mountain has continued to spark mixed reaction, particularly on who speak for the region. Former Deputy President has been positioning himself as the new kingpin, something that has been highly criticized by DP Kithure Kindiki, supporters who see the current DP as their voice.
Na sisi kona ile ya mlima tuliamua juzi, tukafukuza wale wakora, tukawaambia wakwende. Wamekuwa nastua watu, hatu wanapiga ndepe, wanapiga mdomo, hatu wakisema wao ndio maarufu katika mlima. Juzi tuliwaambia mchana, Rais William Ruto, angali yako uongozini, angali yako maarufu.
Cabinet Secretary Geoffrey Ruku is one of the key leaders who have been calling out Gachagua for what he have termed as a move to force himself into the leadership of the region, stating that he is of no relevance in today's politics.
Na ikifika 2027, mambo ya Rais William Ruto ni tu tam, ni tu tam, ni tu tam. Sindio hiyo? Hiyo ndio tulielezea. Na nataka pia niwaambie nikiwa hapa, wewe Rigathi Gachagua, wewe Rigiji, ulikuwa unafikiria umeweka kura ya mlima kwa mfuko yako? Watu ya Mbeere North waliongea juu ya watu wote wa mlima ya kwamba kura ya watu ya mlima iko katika mfuko wa William Samoei Ruto.
According to Ruku, Gachagua cannot claim to be in charge of the whole Mount Kenya region if he was unable to mobilize supporters for his favored candidate in Mbeere North. He claimed that the results of the by-election should be seen as a clear indication that people of Mount Kenya have decided to solidly support President Ruto.
Sindio hiyo? Hapa mnasema ni tutam? Mnasema ni tutam? Hebu nione tutam ya Mheshimiwa William Ruto, tutam. Na kona ile ingine ya mlima tunasema Profesa Kithure Kindiki ni 4 term. Tunasema nini? Tunasema nini? Hebu nione 4 term ya Mheshimiwa Kindiki, 4 term.
Ruku claims that the government is aggressively promoting programs and projects meant to improve communities all around the nation, reassuring people that no area will be left behind. He maintained that cooperation is necessary for the nation to achieve its common objective under President Ruto's leadership, and urged the politicians to prioritize unity and development over political brinkmanship. Rael Makona, KUTV.
Now, in the event at Naiblom village in Laikipia West constituency, Peter Kuria, who overcame poverty as a child, stated that he had chosen to return to his birth village to share his blessings as a token of gratitude during the holiday season. Kuria, who is now an educationist, described how despite being a bright student, he left school to work as a herdsboy. Only the villagers served him, paying for his education with harambees all the way to the university. Religious leaders led the service, which was in an emotional reunion with the peasants and a call for successful people to give back to their birthplaces as a token of gratitude.
So siku ya leo sisi tuliona ni vizuri tukuje tuombe baraka kwa wazazi wetu, na kuomba baraka ni kitu moja peke yake, huwezi barikiwa mkono tupu. So tumeleta blanketi kwa wazazi wetu, zile zinaitwa dufe, ile ambayo ni iko na seti ya 4, na pia tumeleta unga kidogo ya kupika chapati, ili wakati sikukuu inaendelea wapata pia kufanya nini? Kusherehekea na wale wengine. Na hatua lingine ni kuomba baraka na tuendelee namna hiyo. Na hiyo sio ya mwisho, huu ni mwanzo. Huu ni mwanzo, tutaendelea namna hiyo na tutaenda kila mahali tukiambia wazazi, ombeeni sisi na tushirikieni. Watoto wetu tunajua watatufuata nyuma. Hivyo tushikane pamoja na tuendelee namna hiyo.
Nimeshukuru kwa vile ameonyesha ukarimu wake kunipatia kitu ya malazi. Sasa ninaona ya kwamba nitakuwa nikipata joto na nitakuwa nikilala usingizi mzuri. Kwa hivyo habari.
Now that is Christmas coming on early. Now the Ministry of Tourism and Wildlife has praised the private sector for its central role in expanding Kenya's tourism industry. Speaking at the official opening of the week-long tourism exhibition at the Kenyatta International Convention Center, KICC, Tourism and Wildlife Cabinet Secretary Rebecca Miano noted that the businesses and experiences driving the sector's growth are largely private sector owned.
Speaking today at the Kenyatta International Convention Center's KICC week-long tourism exhibition official opening, Tourism and Wildlife Cabinet Secretary Rebecca Miano pointed out that the businesses and experiences that propel the industry are owned by the private sector. At the same time, the CS revealed that homestays and Airbnb facilities were not included in the 5.1 million domestic benefits reported in 2024, suggesting that the domestic segment is a crucial sector pillar. The CS urged Kenyans to actively take part in the event celebration of the tourist sector.
Tourism adds significantly to the GDP of this country. We are edging closer to the 10% mark of contribution to the GDP in terms of earnings. We are well aware that in 2024, the sector contributed over 452 billion Kenya shillings. It is also a strong source of foreign earnings or foreign currency. We are aware it is a source of employment, currently supporting more than 3 million Kenyans.
John Ololtua, the Principal Secretary for Tourism, highlighted Jamhuri Week's goal of making Kenya's tourism industry a pillar of economic expansion. The nation hopes to welcome 5 million foreign tourists by 2027, with the potential to produce 1.1 trillion shillings.
Directly and indirectly, we are profoundly aware of the commitment that the county has of realizing the vision of Nairobi as a world-class metropolis. And I must say that indeed we share with the county the sentiment that Kenya's capital, which is Nairobi, is our political and economic and tourism and everything center. What we expect from this week is to spotlight, showcase the importance of tourism. Like our chairman has said, it will be a real extravaganza. But apart from all that, we look forward to policy pronouncements.
Kenya aims to attract 3 million tourists and earn 560 billion shillings by the end of the year. The sector's employment has increased significantly, highlighting its significance in fostering general job development, since young people make up to 80% of the workforce. Caroline Kimwele, KUTV.
Now that story by Caroline Kimwele takes us to the very first break on the broadcast tonight. Stay with us.
transforming through technology. Innovation is not just our pursuit, it's our purpose. At Kenyatta University, we lead through research, powering ideas that shape industries, communities, and nations. Our partnerships span continents, connecting visionaries, scholars, and change makers. Here, every breakthrough has a human story. Every success begins with curiosity and grows through courage. Today, we celebrate that spirit in every graduate ready to imagine the world. Because tomorrow doesn't wait, it begins here. Kenyatta University will hold the 58th graduation ceremony on 19th Friday, December 2025 from 8 a.m. at KU Main Campus Graduation Square. The ceremony will also be streamed live on KUTV and radio, YouTube and KU website and social media. For more information, please contact the Office of the Registrar Academic on 0208 703092 or 0786 335111 or visit the KU website at www.ku.ac.ke. Kenyatta University, transforming higher education, enhancing lives.
Kupanda shuka akawa tuzo, ukakamavu wake ukatii na kumfanya mwenye bidii. Kwa machozi na makeke akabaini jinsi ya kuwini. Huyu ni mwanamke ngangari kwa jinsi alivyo ng'ari. Mimi ni mwanamke mwake. Usikose kutazama kipindi cha mwanamke mwake nami Caroline Kimwele.
A new era, a new people. This is the Law Matters Show. A program that brings you legal sensitization on your television.
My statement is written and just the quote the prosecution.
I think that this loss is a setback for Raila Odinga.
What policy recommendations were fronted by the candidate?
With diversity, we demystify important legal issues locally, regionally, and internationally.
What Tanzanians.
Join me, Elvin Onsongo, as I bring you more insights on law matters.
We are looking at social issues. What is the problem? Is it the economy? Is it...
Law Matters Show, creating awareness, advocacy, and enhancing lives.
You are watching KUTV Primetime News with Anyango, Sylvia.
Welcome back. Now back here in campus during a special ceremony held to honor staff members who retired in June this year. Kenyatta University Vice Chancellor Professor Paul Wainaina has announced that he too is nearing retirement. Professor Wainaina expressed his gratitude to the retirees, praising their years of service and commitment to the university. The event is part of Kenyatta University's ongoing efforts to celebrate and recognize the contributions of its retiring staff.
Wishing well the staff members who retired in June this year, Professor Paul Wainaina, the Vice Chancellor of Kenyatta University, did not hesitate to mention that he is also among those who will be retiring within the next 2 months.
Whatever I'm going to say, I'll be saying to myself. I don't know whether you know that. Whatever I'm going to say, I will also be addressing myself. This is because I have less than 2 months in KU. So I'm one of you.
As the retirees received awards for their dedication, the Vice Chancellor emphasized the importance of unity and positive engagement within their various communities. He encouraged them to embrace this stage of life as an important pillar that society ought to appreciate. Differentiating today's ceremony from the previous one, the Vice Chancellor stated that retirees will begin receiving their pension funds more quickly.
I can tell you for the first time, I have a board that is professional, a board that actually cares for the workers, and that is why I can stand here and say, under the difficult circumstances, you are going to enjoy the retro pension that actually you have. Tuwapigie makofi hao.
Advice was issued to retirees to be exemplary figures and mirrors within society, with emphasis placed on health matters and how to manage life after retirement.
Issues around wealth, health, and wellness, it is very, very important. It is said the 3 keys to a long, happy retirement: you must have purpose, you must have movement, and you must have social connection. As Fanasila said, you can now also help us or help this age. It can help you to create legacies which you couldn't do when you are young. There are things that can be done only by old people.
This appreciation event underscores Kenyatta University's commitment to recognizing dedication and contribution to its long-serving staff as they enter their retirement phase. Rajab Juma, KUTV.
Thank you, Rajab. Now, the Itisa community leadership has issued a statement to Prime Cabinet Secretary Musalia Mudavadi calling for greater inclusivity and fair representation. Mudavadi, who also serves as the Cabinet Secretary for Foreign and Diaspora Affairs, said the government is ready to work closely with the Itiso people to advance constructive and forward-looking change. He noted that the key points in the community's memorandum, which focus on enhanced participation, affirmative action, and formal administrative recognition, are both relevant and achievable. Now, local fishermen in Kilifi are clashing with a Chinese company over the ownership of a pier at Mnarani Beach landing site. The fishermen have thrown their support behind a former Kenyan Navy officer turned boat builder who has taken over part of the pier to construct 4 large government fishing vessels under his South Sea Services Kilifi Ship project. On the other side, in China, Communications Construction Company Limited, which also claims rights to the same space. Listen in.
In protest of the alleged persecution of local investor, locals, especially fishermen, staged protests stating that the Chinese business had originally used the pier to transport building supplies for Lamu Port, which development was finished more than 2 years ago, and that the pier had remained unutilized.
Tumekuwa tuko hapa lakini kazi hatuna. Na kitu cha muhimu tunataka kazi. Tunataka hii kampuni ifunguliwe na sisi tuandikwe kazi tufanye kazi. Lakini tumekaa hapa, kampuni ziko kitambo hapa lakini hakuna kazi tutapewa. Kwa hivyo tunataka msaada kwa hii kampuni na sisi tuandikwe kazi, tuwe wenyeji ambao wafanya kazi hapa.
Naitwa Rashida Mohamed, ni mkaazi hapa Mnarani. Nimezaliwa hapa na kila kitu changu. Tumepata hii kampuni ya kwanza ya China, walikuwa hapa kwa muda mrefu karibu miaka 5, sasa ni 7. Wamefanya kazi, hawakutuandikia vijana wetu kazi. Barabara wameharibu. Pia nafikiri mkipiga picha mtaziona hizo barabara vile zilivyo. Tuomba zipigwe picha. na kitu kingine majumba yameharibika, mavu.
According to Mohamed Shosi, the chairperson of the Kilifi County Beach Management Unit, the local investor has all the necessary legal documentation to use the pier in order to build the boats that will be given to local fishermen as part of the Blue Economy project.
Kuna hiyo tamaa, maana kwa jamaa tuko naye tumemwona anatupeleka vizuri. Hata Wachina hawajawahi kutuita hapa chini ku community na sisi kukaa na sisi hata siku moja. Huyu jamaa kila mara anatuhitaji, tunamsikiza na yeye atusikiza. Kwa sababu kama itakuwa kuna mgogoro huku na huku itakuwa ni shida kwa wananchi. Sisi mumu wetu mgogoro uishe kabisa. Kama ni kukabidhiwa huyu akabidhiwe, tuendelee naye na kazi. Hiyo ndio kitu muhimu.
In his remarks, Kilifi Governor Gideon Mung'aro threatened to take action against the Chinese businessman if he continued to harass Kenyans for his profits.
Akafuata taratibu zile ambazo zinasibu ili kupata ile nafasi. Alichukua taratibu za kufuata paka akapata paka itwaje leseni hapa mahali. Imefikia mahali sasa Wachina sasa hatujui ni njia gani wanatumia ili kupata hii nafasi. Sasa sisi letu ni moja. Hatuna haja ya kwamba tupate Mchina eti kwa sababu ni investor kutoka nje ndio atufaa. Hata tunaweza pata investor kutoka hapa ndani na akatufaa.
The fishermen are in support of a former Kenya Navy officer who is now a boat builder who has taken over a portion of the pier and is building 4 large fishing vessels, while China Communications Construction Company Limited is a Chinese company. Glory Kadure, KUTV, Nairobi.
Now, across our borders, after last month's election-related unrest, Tanzanian police have declared that nationwide protest planned for tomorrow, December 9th, will be legal. The announcement raises fears of renewed clashes after President Samia Suluhu Hassan was declared the overwhelming winner of the October polls, an outcome that triggered demonstrations fueled by claims from activists that the government is cracking down on dissent. Rights groups, opposition parties, and the UN assert that hundreds may have been killed in the confrontations between protesters and security forces, allegations the government dismisses as exaggerated while maintaining it does not suppress opposition voices. Police spokesperson David Misime says officers have been online calls for demonstrations on December 9th but not received any official notification from organizers. All right, in sports tonight, in yesterday's match highlights in the English Premier League, Brighton FC settled for a 1-1 draw against West Ham United. Fulham FC, on the other hand, was outshined by Crystal Palace by 2-1. In the La Liga matches, Real Madrid suffered a blow after losing to Celta Vigo 2-0, with Valencia securing a 1-1 draw against Sevilla. In the Bundesliga matches, Borussia Dortmund thrashed Hoffenheim 2-0, and in the Serie A, Napoli continued with their fine for the United loanee Rasmus Højlund, scoring twice to sink Juventus 2-1. In today's matches, Manchester United faced Wolves in the EPL, with the match kicking off at exactly 11 p.m. Now that brings us to the end of our broadcast tonight. Thank you so much for choosing KUTV News. Our sign language interpreter tonight is Naomi Ombui, and I'm Anyango Sylvia. Have yourself a lovely night.